What's going on to my Black American brothers and sisters? This video proves why you shouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders, because he's not about giving you reparations either. Watch this video and I'll give you the rest of my commentary.
Chioma Iwaha, she works at a nonprofit here in Washington.
Thank you, Senator Sanders. Part of the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow in the U.S. is the legacy of income inequality in the U.S. What is your position on reparations to the descendants of slaves?
Well, as I just indicated, there are massive disparities that must be addressed. There is legislation that I like, introduced by Congressman Jim Clyburn. It's called the 10-20-30 legislation, which focuses federal resources in a very significant way on distressed communities, communities that have high levels of poverty. So as I've just indicated, I think we have to do everything that we can to end institutional racism in this country. It is not acceptable to me that the rate of childhood poverty among the African American community is over 30% in this country. That is beyond belief. That African Americans die from cancer at higher rates than whites. So we're going to do everything we can to put resources into distressed communities and improve lives for those people who have been hurt from the legacy of slavery.
So what is your position specifically on reparations? I asked the question because Elizabeth Warren, Julian Castro, they've indicated they want
What does that mean? What do they mean? I'm not sure that anyone's very clear. What I've just said is that I think we must do everything that we can to address the massive level of disparity that exists in this country.
I'll tell you what they mean, because Elizabeth Warren has said black families have had a much steeper hill to climb. We need systematic structural changes to address that. Julian Castro has said, I have long thought that this country would be better off if we did find a way to do that, reparations.
Well, I agree with what Elizabeth said.
So you would support reparations?
But read what she said. What does that mean? She means, I think, I don't want to put words into her mouth, is what I said. Okay? In other words, as a result of the legacy of slavery, you have massive levels of inequality. It has to be addressed, and it has to be addressed now. Many of you...
Okay, that was Phil from The Advice Show. Now, shout out to the sister that asked the question. She's from a foreign country. I think she's from one of the African countries, maybe Nigeria, or who knows. And that's the white guy who was interviewing with Blizzard. Now, what you have to be careful about, all those code words that he was using, disparage communities, disadvantaged communities, all of that. Listen, there's a lot of white community that's disparaged, that's disadvantaged. There's a lot of Hispanic communities, Native American, Asian communities that's disparaged. If any politicians is saying they're going to do something specifically for black people, black Americans in particular, do not vote for them. Now, you don't have to listen to me, but this is what I'm suggesting, because it's been way too long. You guys are old this. Native Americans were given reparations. They were given casinos. They were given land reservations, for the Trail of Tears and all that stuff, for being kicked off their own land and all that stuff. And, of course, we were also here, too. We was known as the Darkies. I'm talking about black people. And... Asians, like Japanese and all that stuff, they were given reparations for the internment camps. The European Jews, the white Jews, not the original Jews, were given reparations for what happened in Germany, with the concentration camp, the Holocaust, and all that stuff. And as for any other immigrants that came in here, they benefit off what your ancestors, black Americans, went through. 246 years of chattel slavery, being whipped, hung, lynched, killed, and everything, all those traumatizing things that you have to your ancestors had to go through. You are owed this, and you should be receiving it. And Bernie Sanders is not the man for you. Kamala Harris is not the woman for you. Cory Booker is not the woman for you. I'm going to talk about her right now. Elizabeth Warren, she talked on reparations too, but she also said that Native Americans should say that. Should get the two. And the reason she said it is because she's Native, well, quote-unquote Native American, but she's more like a $5 Indian, if you ask me. If you don't know what that is, that was back then white people that were paying $5 so they could become honorary Indians or whatnot. So they could get resources just like the Indians did, the Native Americans, whatever. And don't forget, Native Americans also owned slaves too. And when they got their treaties and all that stuff in their lands and all that stuff, they kicked out the black the darkies, the black, which was the black people. They kicked them out of their tribes and all that stuff, and didn't give any of the resources to them. So those four, I'm sorry, are not for you. They're not good candidates for you to vote for. But if you guys want to vote for them, I would say go ahead. But you will see nothing will change. Nothing changed under Obama, and nothing's going to change under all these candidates. You might as well go through 4 more years of Trump, in which he is punishing everybody, and that's what they hate. See, when it's black people that's just getting punished, then everything is all dandy. Everything's fine. But now everybody's getting their butt whooped because of Trump. They hate that. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, share the video. I'll talk to you in the next one. But Bernie is not the one for you.